And when you do reopen the game again, you see Flowey. He mentions that you've tried to stop him from doing what you were about to do, which is reset the game and start a new save file. He mentions that everyone is so happy and discourages you from playing the game again and doing a true reset which undoes everything that has happened. He says goodbye, adding that you've probably heard him say this about 100 times already. Damn dude, that's rough. When you go back to the menu, everyone is gone and there is complete silence. And now we will choose a true reset and now begin the last playthrough for this game, the genocide route. Now before we begin our next playthrough of this game, I want to explain that I was always curious about this other human character, you know, the one that isn't Frisk. I went into the genocide route only knowing what the character looked like and that it's commonly referred to as Chara, meaning character, so I'll be referring to them with that name. Also, in order to complete a genocide run in Undertale, you need to choose to kill every character in this game that you encounter, and you have to go out of your way to hunt down and kill all of the enemies in each of the 5 main areas in the game, until no more show up. So, with that all out of the way, we can now begin the genocide route of Undertale. We make our way to see Flowey again, and when we go into the tutorial and dodge his pellets each time because we know that it will hurt us, he starts to get annoyed until he mentions that we know what's going on. Everything happens the same as it usually does, except that there are a few times where Toriel will say that we look like we've seen a ghost. Once we're all alone again and we kill all the enemies in the area, we then see this. Yep, the music in this area just completely changes to a dark and scary, extremely slowed down version of Flowey's theme. We do everything else that we need to do usually, and once we go into the Toriel boss fight, you can just kill her in one hit when her guard is down. She looks shocked at you and criticizes you for attacking her at her weakest moment, and that she knows who she was really protecting. Toriel dies and then we see Flowey again. He says that we aren't really a human and that we're empty on the inside just like he is. He refers to you as Chara and that they weren't inseparable even after all of these years. Flowey then teams up with you to go and kill everyone, and then this happens. What the hell, dude? That's creepy. We head outside and we meet Sans, and before he can tell us to turn around, we immediately just do it ourselves and don't emote at all to the fart joke like in any of the other playthroughs. Also, remember when he told us to hide behind that conveniently shaped lamp last time before Papyrus shows up? We don't even get an option to refuse to do it, we just don't do it this time. Papyrus comes in and just looks right through you and is saying that he's looking forward to seeing the human. Oh my god, he's not human and Sans knows. What the heck, dude, this genocide route is starting to get really crazy. I want to also mention that this area's music before you even complete killing all the enemies in the area has a more distorted, slowed down version of the area's music this time around. Also, when you go to save at a save point this time around, instead of it telling you like encouraging words of like, this area gives you determination, instead it just shows you how many enemies are left to kill in the area. Like 12 left, 7 left, 5 left. And it has a very intimidating blood red text. Toby Fox does not kid around when it comes to the genocide route apparently. Anyways, we kill all the doggo mini bosses and then also kill all the enemies in the area. And oh yeah, you remember that snowman from the pacifist playthrough we did? Watch how this crap happens in the genocide run. Jesus Christ, we just murdered a snowman. And when we get to Papyrus's traps, Frisk just immediately doesn't cooperate to doing them outside of the player's control. Finally, when Papyrus feels frustrated and disappointed, Sans gives out a warning to us. As you can clearly tell, Sans cares a lot about his brother, and we're about to have our encounter with him. Sans then says that if we continue down the pathway that we're taking... Dang, Sans is scary. We get to Snowdin and then we notice that everyone is missing. Well, except for the monster kid. We head into the shop with the purple bunny to find out that she's not even there this time, and she leaves a note saying, "Please don't hurt my family, and you can also steal all the money from the register." So we're not only a serial killer, but we're also a robber, so that's just great. Put it on the resume of evilness. We go and see Papyrus and he looks frustrated with us. He says we're weird and that our life is going down a dangerous pathway. Frisk forcibly goes into battle with him, again without the player's consent, and we kill Papyrus in one hit. And yet right before he dies, he says that he still believes in us. Dang, that's so sad. We make our way to the waterfall and we spend some time with the monster kid again, have the usual run-ins with Undyne, and then we get into the encounter with the dummy again. But this time he's now a happy dummy and he's received true meaning and purpose in his life again for some reason. So what do we do once he's found happy and fulfillment in his own life and can live out the rest of his life in peace? We just kill him. We continue through the waterfall and virtually everyone is gone still. There's only about 3 people in the waterfall that are still around. One of them is the boat driver who doesn't really give a shit whether or not that you've killed a bunch of people. The old turtle shopkeeper is still there also, but he says he's not afraid of you and basically calls you a piece of shit. And aw, come on, even Temmie Village is abandoned. Well, except for the one in the Tem shop, but still, dude, you need to get out of here. You're gonna get killed. Anyways, more encounters with Undyne and Monster Kid. And then when we get to the final confrontation with Monster Kid, Frisk then starts to corner him. Again, not the doing of the player. And the next thing you know, we're in the battle with the Monster Kid. Oh my god, we are going to kill a kid. We then attack him, but then Undyne jumps in at the very last second and takes the hit. She tells the Monster Kid to run away, and he hesitates, but he ends up listening in the end. Right when it looks like Undyne is ready to disappear, she refuses. Undyne then believes in herself to build up her strength because she knows that she needs to save everyone. And now she transforms into Undyne the Undying. This is the first major boss fight of the Genocide playthrough. We have this awesome piano music playing while we have all these arrows we have to dodge, be it coming from up, down, left, and right, or from spinning in a synchronized circle. Either way, this took me at least 4 hours to beat because this is hard. Hell, I had to go back and find an item called the ballet shoes because they deal slightly more damage with the Mon, which ended up helping me win in the very end. But in the end, I eventually beat her. When we beat Undyne for good, she's still showing courage and telling Frisk that he still can't be stopped and that the world will still live on. And then she dies. We continue on into the Hotlands, and we encounter not Alphys, but instead Mettaton this time. I must also mention that we don't see Alphys at all throughout the Genocide route. There are some really messed up theories out there that Alphys committed suicide because Undyne died and she just was like, I can't live without Undyne or something. Which is really messed up whether or not the theory's true or not. But anyways, we found out from Mettaton that she's gathering up people to evacuate since we're killing everyone. We then kill everyone in the Hotlands and then we now make our way to Muffet. We kill her in one hit like everyone else, but now watch what this spider does when she dies. Oh my god, that's both so sad and cute. It really shows how loyal the spiders are to their queen. We then get to the core and kill the remaining monsters there, and now we get to the Mettaton boss fight, since we skipped so many of the Mettaton sequences in the Genocide routes. Which I find to be very interesting because if you're going to play this game for the first time and do a Genocide route, you're missing out on a very huge portion of the game. Anyways, Mettaton is ready to save everyone and show how he is a true star. And with that, we then get Mettaton NEO. Oh my god, this boss is so intimidating. I think we might end up being here for a couple hours, guys. Never mind then. We now head back to the castle to get to Asgore. We enter the new home again, and instead of being given some exposition from the monsters, we instead get greeted by Flowey. He tells Frisk about his life ever since he was a flower, his own ability to save, and why he started killing in the first place. He seems to even break the fourth wall in a way, by insulting the people he refers to as those sickos that stand around and watch it happen, meaning that those who watch videos about the Genocide route rather than playing it themselves. So that's right, people who are watching this video right now, you all are pieces of shit according to Flowey, but I'm pure because I played through this game and you guys didn't have the balls to do it. Wait, don't hit that unsubscribe button. Flowey reiterates his kill or be killed mentality, stating that he and Frisk would not hesitate to kill each other if the need arises. However, he finally then realizes in horror that he is not above this and that eventually Frisk will kill him. And this is the point where we finally see Flowey kind of scared of us. He's like, stop looking at us this way and don't kill me. So Flowey's afraid of us now? Okay, after all the shit you put us through, who's the submissive one now, bitch? We then finally make it back to the Judgment Hall. It's time to face the one part of this game that's gotten memed, been caused by so many rage quits, and has also caused so many acapella and guitar covers on YouTube. We encounter Sans. He asks us if someone can be forgiven for their wrongdoings. He then threatens us that we'll have a really bad time if we take one more step forward. Frisk does so once again without the use of the player's consent. And then this happens. Motherfucker.
6.5 hours later.
Motherfucker, this is so fucking hard. I have never played anything this difficult before. We ain't talking the perfect run from Super Mario Galaxy 2. We're not talking about Through the Fire and Flames 100% on expert mode. We're not talking about Kaizo Mario. We ain't talking Zelda 2. No. All those are not nearly as difficult as this freaking Megalovania boss fight. You get hit with so many different projectiles, and every time you get hit, you're poisoned, and you take even more damage over time. Hell, even the fucking selection menu can make you take damage. If I could give any word of advice to anyone trying to beat this boss, please don't give up. The one thing I will give Undertale that for all the really difficult boss fights, it has a learning curve and you get better over time the more you play it. And I know it's going to take a long time for some of these bosses, especially this one, but know that it's possible to beat. So believe in yourself and don't give up, especially with this last boss. I must note that at the halfway point of this battle, you are given one last chance to spare Sans. He's willing to forgive you for all of your actions, and if you do spare him, then this happens. Fuck you, Sans. Anyways, we continue onwards with the fight until we finally freaking beat this boss. And after we beat him, Sans gets ready to show off his special attack. And what is it, you ask? Nothing. Yep, it's nothing. He knows that Frisk can kill him easily once it's his turn, so he's just going to stand there until literally the end of time to make sure that he doesn't win. And after he falls asleep, you can literally move your soul and push the box button that borders around the rest of the game and move it towards the attack button. We slash at Sans and we miss, but then we hit him again when his guard is down, and then we finally defeat him. He starts to bleed even though he's a freaking skeleton. In this actually really heartbreaking scene, we see that he's going to go to Grillby's. And as he limps off the screen, he asks his dead brother Papyrus in his final words if he wants anything to eat from Grillby's. And then he dies. Damn, that's sad. We then head our way to Asgore and we finally encounter him. He can't identify what kind of creature that we are. Then we immediately go into battle with him and then kill him in one hit even though he doesn't want to fight at all. But then Flowey comes in at the last second and takes care of it for us. See? I never betrayed you. It was all a trick, see? I was waiting to kill him for you. After all, it's me, your best friend. I'm helpful. I can be useful to you. I promise I won't get in your way. I can help. I can. Please don't kill me. Greetings. I am Chara. Thank you. Your power awakened me from death. My human soul, my determination, they were not mine, but yours. At first, I was so confused. Our plan had failed, hadn't it? Why was I brought back to life? You, with your guidance, I realized the purpose of my reincarnation. Power. Together, we eradicated the enemy and became strong. HP, attack, defense, gold, EXP, level. Every time a number increases, that feeling, that's me, Chara. Now, we have reached the absolute. There is nothing left for us in this world. Let us erase this pointless world and move on to the next. No? How curious. You must have misunderstood.
Since when were you the one in control?
The game then closes itself again, and when you reopen it, you are greeted by a black screen of nothingness. If you wait there for exactly 10 minutes, then you are greeted by Chara again. She notices that you want to go back, even though you were the one who caused the underground to be destroyed in the first place. Chara then offers to bring the world back if you give her your soul. If you agree, then the game closes again, and when you reopen the game again, it goes back to normal and with your save file deleted. And that marks the end of the genocide route. Now, before we fully finish off the story for this game, there are a few minor things that will happen now since that you've completed a full genocide route. Now let's take a look at them. If you do another true pacifist playthrough after completing genocide, two different things could happen depending on what you say to Toriel at the very end of the game. Now, if you choose to stay with Toriel, then this will happen. And if you instead say that you have places to go, then this will happen. Now, if you complete another genocide playthrough after giving away your soul, the greeting from Chara at the end of the playthrough will change. Chara. The demon that comes when people call its name. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter where. Time after time, I will appear. And with your help, we will eradicate the enemy and become strong. HP, attack, defense, gold, experience, level. Every time a number increases, that feeling, that's me. Chara. But you and I are not the same, are we? This soul resonates with a strange feeling. There is a reason you continue to recreate this world. There is a reason you continue to destroy it. You are racked with a perverted sentimentality. I cannot understand these feelings anymore. Despite this, I feel obligated to suggest. Should you choose to create this world once more, another path would be better suited. Now, partner, let us send this world back into the abyss. No? This feeling you have, this is what I spoke of. Unfortunately, regarding this,
You made your choice long ago.
And that pretty much wraps up the entire story of Undertale. I didn't think that this took too long. 20 freaking pages, holy crap. Heck, look at the freaking timestamp of the video. At least I got an excuse for why this video took so long to make. But overall, the story of Undertale is so intricate and well thought out that the aspect alone can help encourage players to do multiple playthroughs of the game to see what all possible outcomes could be, giving a lot of replay value to the game. Now that we've covered all the aspects of the story, it's time to go into the gameplay for Undertale and how it holds up. Let's begin. Undertale at its core is an RPG mixed in with a lot of puzzle solving that also adds in a lot of storytelling into its gameplay, hence trying to get specific types of endings encouraging more playtime. The gameplay itself is very reminiscent to the game Earthbound from the Mother series, and also gives homages to bullet hell games. When it comes to battling enemies, you need to choose to either spare them or attack them. Attacking them is simple. All you need to do is guide your heart, as it's referred to as in the game as your soul, to avoid the projectiles of the enemies and then simply slash them when it's your turn. When it comes to sparing them, however, it's a little more complex than that. You need to actually look into the things about the enemy and do actions that can persuade them to make peace with you, which can definitely get more difficult at times. When it comes to the puzzle solving, it doesn't really get that difficult because each playthrough you do the same puzzles over and over again. Another aspect to the gameplay is the story-driven aspect of Undertale. You need to look into what the NPCs are doing, find out what you need to do for them, and complete simple tasks. Very similar to how a lot of other RPGs are. The last aspect of the gameplay that I will cover is my thoughts on the different pathways you can take in the game. When it comes to the neutral playthrough, it does provide you with many different innovative pathways, which does encourage a lot more replay value to it. The only downside to it is that the many different types of endings that you can get are just limited to a phone call with Sans on a black screen. But for the most part, I don't think many people would mind that because of the greatness of the rest of the neutral playthrough. The true pacifist route is also great and does provide an interesting story with a good 7 to 10 hours of gameplay. Spending a lot of time getting to know each character along with getting provided with a ton of lore and nice areas to explore give an overall pass for me. It can definitely make the true pacifist route work as its own standalone game if that was the case. The genocide route has a lower opinion in my head compared to the other two. I say this because even though it does still provide some really good lore for the game, and also with the character of Chara, it however fails to keep me as innovated or excited because of the fact that the grinding to kill all the enemies in each area does get boring and tiresome. And the fact that both the Undyne and Sans boss fights together will make up about 2/3 of your overall amount of playtime for the playthrough, it just makes it seem as if putting in extremely difficult boss fights was used as a kind of padding out for the route, which I do not like. So with all the gameplay covered, let's now get into the graphics and the overall visual and artistic side of Undertale. Virtually all of Undertale's art and character designs are responsible from one person, and it's not Toby Fox. Instead, it's from Temmie Chang. In Undertale, Chang is credited as the logo designer, cutscene artist, overworld artist, animator, shop artist, and tile artist for the game. Temmie was able to create a cute and ugly art style for Undertale that both makes the game look cute and friendly with a sense of humor and music, but also very scary and intimidating for its darker philosophical moments. Virtually every character in the game is unique in their design and has their personality shine through the design itself. Overall, Temmie Chang did a great job for not only being the inspiration for one of the weirdest characters that I've ever seen in a video game, but also for having an amazing talent in art and definitely helping this game come to life. Now let's delve into the musical side of Undertale. The music in Undertale is the strongest aspect of the entire game in my personal opinion. Even to this day, I'm still listening to many of the tracks from the game's OST on repeat many times. The songs are just too damn good. It amazes me with even how many tracks in the game are very similar to each other in beat. Each song still has its own unique personality being applied to it. I say this because every track in the game that applies to a certain character, be it for a cutscene or a boss fight, or even for an area in the game, Toby Fox was able to make each song relate to its subject very easily even without the use of lyrics. Here's a couple of my favorite tracks from the game to help you guys get a better understanding of what I'm getting at. Overall, Undertale's musical side is definitely something worth mentioning. Toby Fox's musical skill definitely shines for this game and definitely helps the gameplay out even more with some amazing tracks to listen to. When it comes to my overall thoughts about Undertale, I see Undertale as being a game that definitely is not the greatest game ever made as many people in its fanbase make it out to be. It's not a perfect 10 out of 10, and hell, even Toby Fox, the creator himself, said the game is probably only at least an 8 at best. But even with all the criticism that I sometimes give it, along with a lot of other people online towards its fanbase about the game itself, I still think that Undertale is a very solid game and definitely deserves a lot of the credit it's given for having amazing music, pretty decent gameplay, and an overall story that definitely does have a major impact on how your experience of the game is. It gives you overall a game that I would definitely recommend having at least 1 or 2 playthroughs of. And the game also definitely gives you a good sense of what's right to do, helps you get an understanding of your own moral choices and see how those can end up, which can definitely be a really good life lesson for some people. And that has been my 5,000 subscribers special video of my review of Undertale. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry it took a while to get this video out. This was definitely the biggest video I've ever made. I spent so much time just writing the script. I spent so much time recording. I've spent so much time editing this video because I really wanted to make this video perfect, and I had to set aside a lot of other videos just for this one video to just be amazing, because I feel that because we've hit such a huge milestone, you guys deserve a video as epic as this one is. So what do you guys think about this 5,000 subscriber special? Did you guys like it? Do you think it was epic? Do you think it was okay? Do you think it was bad? What do you guys think about Undertale? Do you guys love Undertale? Do you guys neutral about it? Do you guys hate it? If you play through Undertale, what's your favorite route of the game? Is it neutral, pacifist, or genocide? Let me guys know down in the comment section down below. If you enjoy my content and want to further help out my channel, please consider donating to my Patreon page, hitting that like button, turning on that notification bell, and subscribing all together. I've been SeetherCord, and I will see you guys next time. So, goodbye everyone.